Hey everyone, it's Jason again. Now, as I'm learning more about this cool little screencast feature, I've actually now found that I can use my own phone's selfie cam to record have a live feed of my face, so you get to actually see my facial reactions as I show you my videos. And luckily, I decided to opt for some anti-glare glasses, so you can also see my eyes properly. Now, in this one, again, I'm back on Elevate, and I've got a free part training program to do at the moment. And this is an exercise I'm about to show you that I've got. It's called Word Parts. This one's meant to focus on your reading. Now, with this one, you have to actually, you're giving a definition at the top. You're giving what function of the word it is, so like an adjective, an adverb, that sort of stuff, noun, and it's like say like a prefix or suffix or a root word, and you have to be able to learn the meanings of these in order that you can actually form composite words. So let's do an example. So I'll read it out as I go along. So here we have rule. Now that's like like regal. Not normal would be this, like a dystopia. It's not normal. Swear or law is like jurisdiction. Believe that something is not true or real. So it says noun. This is credence, to lend credence to something. Holding tightly to something, that's an adjective. Well, that's tenacious. If you're tenacious, you're describing a noun. Relating to stone, well, that's lithic, and it's an adjective. Okay. A state of being kept or held would be detention. So, like if you have a detention, you're not allowed to go home. Action of keeping back for a time would be retention. So, like with memory, if you retain. Condition of extremely high body heat, well, that would be hyper for higher. Firm for a temperature, and ear for a noun. That's to describe some. In the manner of lying before the law, well, like again, pair is through jaw is like jurisdiction. Perjuriously, because it's an adverb, so it has to end in ly. Then act or practice of creating a sense of shock would be sensationalism. Didn't have enough time to click the rest of them, unfortunately, with my little pen. So then we get to have a readout of our score. On that one, I got great job. Obviously, normally when I'm doing this, I normally get excellent because I'm not having to read it out to you guys. When you're having to read it out rather than do it in your head, it slows you down. The faster you get through it, the higher a score you'll have. This one's listening. I'm not really going to be able to do listening on this at the moment. So, by the way, if you get a game that you're not particularly fond of, this button here at the bottom right corner allows you to switch. You only have like up to 6 options of games you can do, and with 3 of them you can try switching them if you're not happy with it. This is expression and writing. So in this one, what you're going to have are words that are used as either euphemisms or metaphors or as general sayings. These could be like idioms, that's IDIOM. And essentially you have to make sure that those idioms are either spelled correctly or they're not used as a misnomer. They can't be like mispronunciation or things like that, or things like that nature. So let's do some examples here. So for my birthday, the waiter brought me dessert compliments of the house. Now you have to say whether that's right or wrong. Compliments of the house. That's correct. Compliments of the house is right in that saying. It's usually best to bide your time and save money before going on an expensive holiday. I think that's right. Yeah, bide your time. In Pride and Prejudice, Elizabeth Bennet falls head over heels. Now, head over heels is to say, like, madly in love. That looks right. Heels is spelled correctly with double E. Then we've got the revised itinerary gave us plenty of leeway. I think that's right, to relax instead of rushing everywhere. So I think that's how you spell leeway, yeah. Here we've got the populist rabble-rousing speech started a riot in the streets. So the question is whether rabble-rousing is correct. I think that's right, yeah, rabble-rousing. A World War One film piqued my interest, so I read more about the Allies and Central Powers. Now, you might think that's right, because, again, even though it may sound right as from a phononym perspective, it also has to be right as a homonym, as to say that how it's written has to be spelled correctly. So here we've got Pete, but it's not P. It has to be Piquue. So that's wrong. Piquued. Yeah. The sweet and savoury flavours in the thyme caramel popcorn are like yin and yang. So that's correct. Like that's good and dark. The tower symbol. So far, the threat of an asteroid destroying Earth has been much ado about nothing, so that is correct. And you get 8 of them in one round, and that's all of them. And then again, we get a readout of our score. As I said, because I'm reading them out to you rather than just trying to process them from my head, it slows me down. But nonetheless, I got them all right, so it gives me excellent job. I got no speedy answers, no bonuses for speedy answers, because as I say, as I say, you can also repeat each task up to 3 times in the day. Now that one's equivalence. I don't know if I want to do that one. Equivalence or comprehension. Which one I do? I don't know if I can do maths on the fly. I might do maths soon, but okay. So let's do comprehension. This is about reading. This is quite a fun one. Essentially, you read a passage, and then you get asked 3 questions on it, and they can relate to like how much of the story, how much data you can recall, whether something's being used as a simile or a metaphor. So you'll get the idea now, actually. So in this passage, the author reflects on his decision to live off the grid. That's to say, just living without like a power mains or water. It's almost like living in the forest. So here we go. I'll read it to you. As I stood, a warm breeze brought the smell of rain. Directly ahead, a deer and her fawn, fawn is the baby of a deer, paused from grazing to inspect me. Suddenly I was transported back to the family reunion where I had told everyone my plans to travel and live off the grid. That was a year and thousands of kilometres ago. Even without a mobile, I'm more connected with the world today than I've ever been. All the white noise of modern society has been drowned out by the powerful silence and solitude of Mother Nature. So this person is quite clear living off the grid, and so you're going to get questions on it. So let's have a little look. So I have to pause that section. The author's tone in the passage can best be described as introspective and appreciative, I would say. Transported back. So in the passage, the phrase transport. So here we go. Figurative language. So that's what I mean by metaphors. Obviously not being transported back. You can't go back in time. What modern convenience are we told the author lives without? Mobile. So you'll recall that from the passage. There was a mobile that he doesn't have now. That's a mobile phone. One thing that I could not live without. Now, they have been recorded as doing a great job because I didn't get to answer them as quickly because I had to read them out to use. And again, you show your little graph of your progress. That was like my 71st best. So you see the bad effects of having to do this while streaming on your thing. So there we go. A session finished. It gives you a summary again. 2-day streak. So that was pretty decent. That was another example. They were all different from yesterday, so that was good. It gives you an idea of a greater variety of games you can do. And hopefully I'll be able to look forward to showing you more different games on it tomorrow. And again, with my beloved face to stare at the same time. Thank you for watching. Like, share, suggest, subscribe, do all that sort of nonsense.